Hi everyone, this is Tom Pavlik and putting together another YouTube video on how to work with your eBird data. A request came across on the eBird community discussion group on Facebook on how to get a list of your top 10 big days by unique species. So I thought I'd put together a fairly easy Excel solution on how to do that. So this assumes that you've already downloaded your eBird data from eBird. I'm using the latest version of Excel, which is part of the Microsoft Office suite of 365. And I'm also doing this on a Windows PC. But this is pretty backwards compatible. There's no real advanced features going on here. So could probably work on some previous versions of Excel as well. I'm going to go through this very fast, so feel free to pause the video or rewind it at any point if I'm going too fast. So the first thing that we want here is a blank Excel worksheet. So we're going to go ahead and bring in our eBird data. So we're going to go to Data, we're going to go to Get Data from File, and then from Text CSV. This will invoke Excel's Power Query Editor after we start to import our eBird data. And once that comes up, we want to change our delimiter from colon to comma. That's just the way that the data is delimited and delivered from eBird. So after this gets loaded, we can close out this little dialog box here on the right by clicking this X over here. Here is all of our data. Now what we want to do in this case is we want to remove duplicates. We're trying to get top 10 big days by unique species count. So for example, if you saw American robin multiple times in a day, you don't want to count all of those. You only want to count that once. Very easy to do. Let's go over to the Data tab. Let's click on this icon here that allows us to remove duplicates. By default, it's going to select all of these. Well, let's unselect them all and then just select common name and date. All right, so that's going to remove all of the duplicates for a species seen on the same date. Very good. So this is the data we want to work with. Now we can use a pivot table to summarize our data. Very easy to do. Go up here to Insert, click Pivot Table, and then accept the default. It's going to open up a new tab and allow us to summarize our data. Well, the way that we want to do this is we want to drag the date field down into the rows section. So let's find our date field right here. We're going to drag that down into our rows section. Now, unfortunately, Excel in a pivot table automatically groups these together. To ungroup this by these years, simply right-click on any field in this list here and just say ungroup. So now we've got a list of all of the days that we've submitted a checklist for. All right, now the next thing that we want to do is we want to find the common name and then drag that down into our values field. So this gives us now a count of all the common names that we saw on a particular date. Let's sort this. So let's click on any cell here in this count of common names. Let's right click and say sort. We probably want to sort largest to smallest. And there you have it. For me on May 27, 2023, actually a group of friends and I went out and had a nice day of birding. So we had 166 that day. All right, so there is actually not just your top 10, but all of your days summarized by species count ever. You might want to take this a step further, and what we might be able to do, let's say we want to actually see the names of those. Well, we can go to common name here and drag that under our date field in the rows, and it actually lists all of the species that we saw on that day. Now, Excel puts these in alphabetical order, but at least you can still see all of your species here. And even if you want to take it a step further, maybe you want to see the first location of where you saw that species. You can click the location, drag that under the common name, and you can see for us we had Acadian flycatcher at this spot, alder flycatcher at this spot, and so on. If you want to undo those, you can just simply take the field and just drag it back up into the this bigger area up here. So pretty simple way to summarize and get your top 10 by dates. Hope that was helpful. If you have any other suggestions, let me know. Take care.